Hello and welcome to the Fierce Urgency of Now in Today's Schools podcast. I am Dr. Cynthia Mama J. Johnson, a voice of hope in education, and I will be your host. Thank you, as always, for joining me for another episode. Before we jump in, let me remind you why we gather. The Fierce Urgency of Now in Today's Schools podcast is dedicated to disrupting, interrupting, and dismantling barriers to changing student outcomes in our nation's schools. Why? Because our children need us now more than ever before. So we've got to come together to figure out what we can do to meet them where they are. Not leave them there, but then to elevate them to a whole new level. Honey, I want you to know today, my guest, Katina Taylor, is one of those individuals that's not only meeting children, but she's meeting parents and families exactly where they are and taking them to a whole new level. Katina, welcome to the family.
Thank you so much. I'm like, who's here? What? What
I
they
tell you
doing?
what, I'm so happy that before we started recording that you talked about how many years ago it had been since 2000 that we first met, girl, honey, and you
Yes.
you doing your thing, and Mama J is still out here doing her thing. But
Amen.
let me take a moment to share with our audience who we have before us today. This is just not a guest. Let me tell you a little bit about her and the walk of life. Somebody say lawyer, educator, advocate. Somebody go on and say, entrepreneur, nonprofit leader. These are some of the hats that the Kansas City native Katina K. Taylor wears. Some may think that a jack of all trades cannot master any. However, that is not the case with Katina. She moves. I love that her bio says this. She moves seamlessly from one to the other, often intertwining them together for the most effective impact on clients, students, families, and the community. You know, when I was reading your another version of your bio, I love this quote because you and I have come together on a quote by Frederick Douglass. I'm trying. I want to make sure I get it completely right.
Yes.
Here it is, right here. It says Frederick Douglass' word says, "Once you learn to read, you will be forever free." And those are
Amen.
your words that you celebrate and honor. And I understand that these are my words. I'm gonna hold it up for you today by Frederick
I have
Douglass.
that same thing right over there on my bookcase.
I love
Yes.
it. This is what keeps me grounded. Did you hear me? The
Yes.
days of my life, 35 plus years in education, and I still believe. You hear me? Don't get me started today.
Absolutely.
It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men.
That's
We have
it.
enough examples in society of brokenness and broken men
Mm.
and women. We're going to leave it there. We ain't going to talk about this. This is an educational show, and that's what we're going to focus on today. Come on, come on, come on.
Amen.
Tell us more about yourself. I mean, I just gave a little bit. I mean, I could have gone on and on and on, but tell us your story.
Those are hats. And I people, you achieve things and you're proud of those
Yes,
achievements. You get
yes,
degrees, you do all
yes.
these things. But ultimately, what I have found to be true and that has been interwoven throughout my life is
Uh-huh.
I am a liberator.
Woo, woo,
That
woo.
that's like pure
Come
and
on.
simple. That is purpose. And what do
Woo.
I mean by
Love it.
that is that all of my work, no matter what it has
Uh-huh.
been, is been to liberate other people,
Yes.
free up other people
Woo,
to do, be, dream, whatever it is that
woo.
they want to do, be, and dream.
Right,
And
right.
so that's the role. People often
Mm.
say, who are you? What do you do?
Right,
And we want to go through
right,
this whole resume of things.
right.
Now, who are you at your core?
Yes, yes.
And so I'm a mom. My son is 34. I was a one and
Wow.
done mom. I'm a grandma. That
Love it.
that's where my pride is. I'm a daughter,
Yes,
right? I'm a sister.
yes.
I am a fighter in terms of liberation movement.
Yes.
And I don't think I would have known that
Uh-huh.
early in life.
Right. I hear
But
you.
native Kansas City and product of Kansas City public
Yes.
schools, went to Avila College, now Avila University, went to KU Law School, never
Huh.
imagined
Woo.
education. Never. But I had amazing Black teachers. So like when
Yeah.
people say they didn't have Black teachers, they don't know what it's like to have a Black teacher. I was like, all my
Yeah.
teachers were Black.
Wow. Wow.
Like, what y'all
Wow.
mean? Right here
I'm
in
one of those.
Kansas
I'm
City.
one of those individuals. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was shocking to me. I was just like, what y'all mean, y'all? What? You
Yeah.
know, the Miss
Yeah.
McConnell, the Miss Turk, the Miss Harris, the Mr. Jones, the Mr. McQuarries, like,
Yes.
Mr.
Mm,
Heron, all of those greats in Kansas
yes.
City. So I had great teaching
Thank
throughout
you.
my life, from Montessori preschool all
Yes.
the way through. So when I did decide, because it was a choice,
Uh-huh.
to venture into, not thinking I would stay.
Uh-huh.
It was really a stopgap in my life. I finished law school. I was going to California, take the bar, lifestyles of the rich and famous. We gonna do entertainment law, make a whole lot of money, hang out with celebrities, and retire by 40. That was
Right.
the plan.
Right. Right.
But life be lifing, right?
Come on
Ended
now.
up back in Kansas City. My father passed, and you get serious when things start happening.
Right.
And I had a
Hmm.
mouth to feed. My son was very young then, and my father passed. So I was like, "What you really gonna do?"
Woo.
And at that time, Kansas City Public Schools had a teacher shortage. They were like, "Come on in. We want other people from other career paths to come in." And I
Right. Right.
really thought, stopgap. This is going to be a way for me to give back while
Right.
I am
Right.
attempting to decide
Right.
what I'm going to do next.
Right.
And here we are 25 years later. 25 years later. So
Yes. Come
3 years
on
in middle school, 7 years in elementary school, 5 years in high school, and now teaching parents, writing books,
Yes.
being a literacy advocate,
Yes.
but walking in my calling, my purpose of
Yes.
liberation. Like I'm clear that
Mm.
that's what it is.
Woo. Woo, girl.
So,
I don't know whether if I should sing, if I don't know if I should get the ushers on the door, girl. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I should grab the fan. I don't know. We could give the benediction right there. You hear me? I could give my
but
closing
I would tell
comments.
you, it's people like you though. It's
Woo,
people like you that
woo,
had me stick and stay.
woo.
That I anything that's worth doing is worth doing well,
Right, right,
especially when you're
right,
impacting the lives of human
right,
beings.
right.
But I think about a Takesha Brown, I think about a Mama J, I
Mm,
think about some of these,
wow.
Brandy Thornton, I think
Yes,
about a lot of these educators that have been put in my path. Remember, I wasn't trained to be an
right,
educator.
right, right.
I think about a Dolores Lynn who now has passed
Mm,
away, but I know she was placed on earth
right,
to be an
right,
educator.
right.
I think about those people, Kirksey and all of these folks, Harshaw, all of these folks that have crossed my
Wow.
path. And I applaud you all. I thank you all. I'm so grateful
Thank you.
because
Thank
I know
you.
that I wouldn't be able to do the work that I do and do it
Right.
well
I hear
in the
you.
way in which I do it had it not been for you all.
I hear
So
you.
I
I hear you.
like I'm so you don't even
Woo.
know. Like I get chills. I spoke out and said, I want to be on her podcast. When I found out that she I was like, why I ain't been invited to be on this podcast? Because oftentimes we will aspire to be in the
Huh?
place of celebrity.
Right, right.
But celebrity isn't often the people that have the biggest formats
That's
aren't
right.
often making impact.
Right, right.
I need to connect, collaborate with,
Yes,
celebrate, be in
yes.
community with people that are having impact and have had
Come on now.
impact.
Come on now.
And so I count it an honor. I am humbled. I am grateful. I count it all joy. I know that it's in alignment
Yes,
to be
yes.
in community with someone like you, a great.
Well,
Like if
I
people don't know who
appreciate that.
you are, they need to know.
Girl, I
They need to
appreciate
know.
you. I appreciate you in all of those words that you have said. But let me tell you what, as I've watched you get on and do these little videos and things. But when I saw you just recently do this video for
Mhm.
parents, and you were looking at these new regulations that had just come down regarding Title One, and you came in there and you were talking to those parents, this is your right. I said, I show enough. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about show enough, that's exactly what I said. I show enough got to have
Show
you
enough.
on this podcast because you kept it real. And that's what we have to do. I keep it
Yeah.
real. I don't try to be fancy. I don't have any fancy scripts. I don't have a teleprompter. I'm just speaking from my heart right
Yes.
here, right now, because the call that God has on my life is to make sure that I am building strong children. That's what God has called me
Lord.
to do, building strong children. So wherever He has me do that, if it's in Walmart, I'm building strong children. If it's on the
Amen.
street corner, I'm building strong
Yes.
children. If
Yes.
it's in the church, I'm building strong children. If it's children that look like me, I'm building strong children. If it's
That
children that
part.
don't look like me, I'm going to build strong children because that's what
Yes.
God has called me to do. He didn't give me natural children, but let me tell you
Mm.
what He did. Hmm. He gave me the nickname of Mama J, and that's what my children call me to this day.
Yes.
Woo, girl.
Well, I
Now,
count me
woo,
in the number because I
come
sure
on.
talk about
Let the
Mama J.
church say
Ah,
amen.
yes.
Come on, come
Yes.
on,
I
come
love
on.
it.
Oh, girl, let me tell you what, before we have to call the ushers for real, let's get to our very first question.
Yes.
You look at all these different hats, like you said, all these different hats that you wear and how you use them to move forward in life, but how most importantly you use them to impact other people's lives. I love that you're a liberator to ensure that other people are free. Girl, you just blew my mind when you said that. Oh, girl, you're a liberator to ensure that other people are free to do what they
Yeah.
want to do in life. So, having said all of that, what brings you to the work, this work that you do as a nonprofit leader, as a lawyer, as an advocate for parents, as just an educator? What brings you to the work and what keeps you doing the work?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Like our people.
Woo.
Our people. Like
Yeah.
I
Woo.
think that oppression has had lasting impact and continues to have impact.
Okay,
It causes
okay.
harm.
Yes.
But I want our people to shift
Hmm.
from surviving to
Yes.
thriving.
Yeah, come on, come
I
on,
want
come
them
on.
to walk in their power. Like I want
Yeah.
them to literally
Yes. Yes.
be free. Like if now I'm a pew baby too,
Come
right?
on.
So I
Hmm.
came that you have life and have it more abundantly.
Yes.
What does that mean? I don't
Hmm.
have to wait to die
Right, right,
to be free.
right,
I don't have
right.
to wait to die to have abundance. And while we have a lot of things that we encounter that are up against us,
Uh-huh.
um, there's a knowledge, a skill,
Yeah.
success leaves breadcrumbs that we can look back on
Right,
generations, our
right,
ancestors.
right.
Like
Hmm.
I want people to operate
Freedom, freedom.
in freedom, like whatever that looks like for them,
Right.
because they get to define that. But I want to ensure that they have the
Hmm.
tools to do
Yes.
that.
Come on now.
And
Come
so
on. You.
I will say that I'm thankful and grateful to my mother. I think
Uh-huh.
she set the stage, the standard. We are
Yes.
so much alike that it causes friction a lot of the time. But I watched her do
Yes.
liberation work, abolitionist work, be a
Yes.
disruptor,
Yes.
dismantle things.
Yes.
And I always was like, I ain't doing that. But what I realized is I'm so much like her.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
I have the opportunity to take it further. And so
Yes.
until our kids, our people can be free, like
Yes.
that's the work.
Yes. 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 And
That's
we
what
are
keeps
not
me here.
free. We are not free until everybody's free. Come on, come
That
on.
part.
Everybody is
That's
free.
the
Come on.
challenge. That's the work. So if
Yes.
we yeah, if anybody, I am not my brother or sister's keeper. I am my
Yes.
brother or sister.
Come on. Come
So
on.
my lived life just is about grace and mercy.
Right.
And
Right.
because I know that, I acknowledge that. And
Yes.
I may have a level of privilege and my peers don't, my
Yes.
colleagues, those coming behind me. Like my purpose has to be
Yes.
that
Hmm.
we are working for each other's liberation.
Woo, I love that. Woo, my goodness. Woo, that got me fired up right there. Woo. So keeping in that same vein from all
Yeah.
that you've done, tell us what is the fierce urgency of now in today's schools?
Whew. The fact that our kids can't read,
Hmm.
the fact that we have two, three, four generations of children, now
Well,
adults,
wow.
that are low literacy or illiterate,
Yes.
misdiagnosed, undiagnosed, dyslexic, dysgraphia, all these
Right.
things.
Right.
So what does that do though?
Right.
That they're in bondage. How are
Yeah.
they in bondage? Unemployment, underemployment,
Yes.
access to health care,
Yes.
lack of civic engagement,
Mm.
right? Housing. They can't earn enough
Right.
and
Right.
build themselves up from a social, economic standpoint.
Right.
How do they then thrive in their own life? How do
Hmm.
they take charge and dream big
Right.
dreams?
Right. And it begins
And
with
so
literacy. It all
yeah,
begins
like
with literacy.
literacy is at the base. They can't
Right.
do, none of us can do
Right.
anything
Right.
if we don't have that skill. Now, what you
Right.
do with the skill, that ain't my thing. I
Right.
don't care if you ever become a lover of literature. That ain't my thing. What I need you to know is that I need to know that you have the skill to make the choice and the decision
Right.
for
Right.
you.
Right.
And so the fierce urgency of now is
Mm.
that our ancestors immediately after
Yes.
emancipation,
Yes.
near 0% literacy rate.
Right.
Within 30 years, that had been turned on its head, 75% literacy
Right.
rate,
Right.
if not more. Because
Right.
we weren't collecting data.
Right. Come on.
But if we did it then with nothing,
Right. Nothing.
no money, no
Come on now.
technology, no skill, no nothing. You mean to tell me in 2025, with all the money, the resources, the technology,
Right.
the education that we have, that our kids can't read?
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
deplorable. It's criminal.
It is criminal. That's the word that
It,
when you go ahead.
And so anybody protecting, and I'm just gonna keep it real. And
Uh-huh.
I don't care if you look like me or don't, but if you are protecting your power, your position, and your paycheck, and children can't read, that's a problem for me.
That's a problem for me. And I'm gonna go on and say it. Go find something else to do.
That part, get out the way.
Get out of my way.
That's
Get out of
it.
the children's way.
Yes.
And if you walk in there every day and you're smiling and you pat him on the back, oh bless his heart. Don't you bless his heart? Let mama do
No,
that. I
that
want
part.
you to ensure that when he walks out that he knows how to read. I want to just ask you about what was the documentary that you just recommended?
Left behind.
Left Behind. I want you to know you recommended it. Mama J at 2 o'clock in the morning was up watching it, girl.
I love it.
I'm watching it. Talk to us a little bit about that and the work and things that you do. I mean, I know you're not.
I
Let me tell you
mean,
what. You could have been in Left Behind. Come on,
we
talk to me.
we gonna do a documentary.
Come on. I hear you.
That's on the scheme, but then we gonna do it.
Come on. I love it.
But I would tell you, my work really is, because I was in traditional public school, charter
Right,
school, private
right,
school, and we, as educators and
right.
education professionals, decided to hold parents accountable and responsible.
Uh-huh.
I always ask the question: have we equipped to do for them to do the work? Like, I can't hold you accountable and responsible if I haven't taught you to do the thing.
Right. Come on now.
Right? So the
Mm,
work is, parents, you are the first and most important teacher of your children. I
that's right.
can never love your children as much
Right,
as I love them
right,
more than you.
right, right.
I have to partner with you, collaborate with you, teach you,
Yes.
show you, support you
Right,
in your role.
right. Mm,
Now, once you know, you know.
right. And do
Ain't
better.
no excuse.
Do
Ain't
better.
no excuse then, right? You got to
Yeah.
implement it. You got
Uh-huh.
to practice it. I'm going to support you. But we cannot hold parents accountable and responsible for supporting their children in their literacy journey, and we haven't tooled them to do the work.
Come on.
So
Come
I'm
on.
not participating in deficit mindsets,
Right, right,
conversations around what parents will do, won't do, haven't
right,
done, all
right.
the things. Because my question is always, well, didn't you teach them?
Mm,
Wasn't they a part of your community? Because see, they were kids before they became adults.
exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So if they won't have, did we not tool them?
Right,
Well,
right,
I know we didn't, because you show up in a classroom every day and you can't teach them.
right. Come on now. Come on now.
And that's no shade. Like, I love educators. It's no shade. It
Yeah.
is the fact that this country, this system, bought into something that they shouldn't have, and they
Right,
perpetuated it for decades.
right.
And so we have to own that. We have to take
Uh-huh.
responsibility for that. And then we have to just shift, right? Get away
Right.
from what don't work, go back to what does. Because before it was ever called structured literacy or science of reading, my teachers was doing that. I
Right.
read. Like,
Right. Right.
and my mama hadn't been in no school.
Right. Right. And and let me say this to you, continue, you're just bringing up all kind of things in my mind, in my heart. I think about, because I was a struggling reader. And it wasn't
Mhm.
that I couldn't recognize the words. I was a struggling reader because I stuttered so badly that
Yeah.
you couldn't understand the words that came out of my mouth. But let me tell you what mama and daddy did. We didn't have all them books and things in the house, but what we had was the Bible.
Come on.
And my father and my mother sat down and they taught me how to read the Bible. So here I am all these years later. That is still a part of my life.
Yes.
When your daddy is a deacon and your daddy is the Sunday school superintendent, you're going to read. When you see what I'm saying? So then, it took years for that to kind of translate over into school because I was the church girl. Like you said, a pew baby. I was the church
Yeah.
girl. I was the
Yeah.
girl that at 7 years old, its voice was so big that they put me in the adult choir. They're like, oh no,
Yeah.
you can't sing with the little kids. So I'm marching down the aisle. When we used to march in the choir,
Yeah.
how we
You
used to
know
do
it.
it
Yes.
as
I
that
did
first
all that.
as that first person coming in and coming down on that aisle. But I said all that to say is that they taught me those things by reading the Bible. We didn't have, like I said, we didn't have all those. We didn't have no money. We were poor. P-O, not P-O-O-R, just
Come
poor.
on.
That's all we
Well,
had.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. To my point earlier,
Yeah.
our ancestors had nothing,
Had
but they were
nothing.
able to read.
Come on.
We are some of the most educated people
Yes.
on the face of the earth.
Yes.
So you can't tell me what we can't do and what now. So people say be data driven. Okay. Well, the
Uh-huh.
research tells us 90% of our children intellectually are capable of learning to read. So why
Right.
aren't they?
Right. 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 Why
Now,
have we
I'll
not
also
figured
tell
that
you
out yet?
this. You don't need a lot to teach children to read. You just
Come
need
on.
the will to ensure that they do.
Exactly.
I
Woo.
think about, I use the analogy, or I use I'm a visual person. I love movies.
Uh-huh.
I said, think about Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple.
Okay.
Environmental print. They tagged everything in their environment
Yes.
for her to learn to, like, it don't take a lot. That's what I teach parents.
Right. Right.
What can you do with what you have
Right.
to ensure? Now, I also want to say this about church.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning was the word.
And the word was God. Come on now. Come on now. Don't
Who
make us
we
go
keeping
to
the
the book
word
of John.
from though? Who we keeping the word from though?
Hmm.
I just spoke to a whole bunch of faith-based organizations a couple of weeks ago, and that's exactly how I opened up.
Right.
In the beginning was the word. The
Yes.
word was,
Yes.
and the word
Yes.
was with.
Well. Come on.
So who, like, I can fix it for everybody, but who are we keeping the word from and why?
Come on. Come on.
Like,
Hmm.
come on now. So, like, we always have to ask like deep questions,
Yeah.
and so you say, hey, my parents had the Bible. How many people do you think walk into a church today,
Uh-huh.
week after week,
Right.
and they can't read?
Right.
It's a whole lot.
Right.
A whole lot.
And they're serving. I mean, they're serving other places. They're serving in the choir. They're serving in the food area, in the kitchen, and all these different. They're deacons. You know,
Yes.
all
Yes.
these different places. But like you said, they don't know how to read.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Grandmothers, grandfathers.
Yes.
But we are brilliant.
Yes, we
We
are.
are brilliant
Yes.
because we still navigate the world
Yes.
without that skill and do well.
Yes.
But I think about how much better,
Yes.
how less of a struggle
Uh-huh.
your life could be when you have a simple skill.
Yes. A skill. That's what it is.
It's just a simple skill.
Yes.
And I know that reading the printed word is a newer phenomenon. Like people think, oh, it's been around forever. No, our brains aren't hardwired for that.
Right. Right.
Our brains are hardwired for oral language.
Uh-huh.
So we have to build the neural pathways. But if we just are intentional and consistent,
Yes.
we can do it at any age.
Any age.
Any
Get better.
age.
Any age. Any age. And you can get
It's
better
never too
at
late.
any age.
Yes.
Yes, get
Never too
better at
late.
any age. Woo, I tell
Yeah.
you. Woo, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and say this before I get to the last question. I'm gonna have you back on, and we're gonna do something special just for families and for
Okay,
parents. You hear me? I
perfect.
love it because I love the fire that you brought to the show today. This last question is because I already know you a disruptor. You a bad mama jamma. That's a disruptor. You hear me?
Ooh,
I don't put
it's
you
a
in a
price
whole
to
other
pay
category.
for it, though. It's a price to pay
Oh,
for it.
girl, who you telling? Who you telling? People will look at you upside your head. People be back here plotting about, okay, I'm gonna bring her down. You don't have to even tell me I done lived the life. I already know. I
Yes,
already know. That's why you got to kind of walk in, but you can't be who you're not. This is who I am. I can't try to be all fancy
I
and try to
tried. I
this is it.
tried.
I haven't even tried. I haven't even tried. This is just who I am. This is God
Yes.
made me. God made me who I am. I'm gonna leave that alone before I have choir rehearsal up in here. But I want to ask you today, what are you willing to disrupt, interrupt, and dismantle to ensure students have access and opportunities to thrive?
I'm so glad you asked this question because I've been waiting on this. Because I saw another one. I saw your interviews. You asked that question. I was like, ooh. And I actually posted it. I posed that question.
My
And
God.
I said, because my answer is everything and
Okay.
everybody.
Okay. I love it.
I don't
I
care
love it.
who you are, what you look like, what you do.
Right.
We can like you as a person
Right.
and call you out and move you out of the way if you are
Right.
causing harm.
Right.
Our charge is to take care of the least of us, our
Hmm.
babies,
Hmm.
and those that have already paved the way for us, our elderly.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how you tell the mark of how society is doing. If your children and your elderly are not doing well, we
Uh-huh.
have a problem.
Right. Come on.
So, so I will disrupt anything, everybody, any policy. And I'm gonna tell you, I've struggled with that. Even recently,
Wow.
the Jamal Harrison Bryant out of
Uh-huh.
New Birth in Atlanta preached a sermon a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Because I was questioning, like, God, like with this Title One, like, how am I supposed to, be
Hmm.
strategic and preserve these relationships with people? Because in order for me to do the work, I have to do. He preached a sermon. He said, God is in the risk, not in the safety.
Woo! Woo! Come on, make it plain. Make it plain.
God is in the risk, not the
Yes.
safety. We've played it safe for
Yeah.
so long,
Yeah.
and it hasn't served us.
Right.
So,
Right.
at what point will you stop playing it safe,
Yes. Yes.
comfortable,
Yes.
maintaining the status quo,
Yes.
and take the risk?
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
So that was my charge. And when I heard that, I was like, confirmation. Okay, God, I got
That's
you.
right. Woo. And as somebody somewhere just like me is, I'm thinking the charge to keep I have and a God to glorify. And
That's
that's the
it.
charge. And that's what moves you forward in life. That's what keeps you going in life.
Yes.
So you
Because
take everything.
I have four grandchildren, two boys,
Uh-huh.
two girls, 11, 9, 5, and 1.
Okay.
I don't want anything for them that I don't want for any other child
Right. Right.
in my
Right.
community, in my city, in my country. Like,
Right.
can't want more for them than I
Right.
want for anybody else.
Exactly.
So, like, when I talk about freedom, when I talk about liberation, when I talk about thriving and not surviving, I don't
Uh-huh.
want us to exist in that way anymore.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm telling you, if I want to be cordial, congenial, I want to have relationships. All of
Yes.
us, like human nature, we want to be light.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I want to be right. I want to stand
Hmm.
before my God
Yes.
and say, I did what you purposed me to do.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that means you do it even when people want to hear you. You do it in season and out of season.
Out of season. That's
You hear
it.
me? So I mean that is so powerful. You made me think about something yesterday. I received a phone call from a student from 30 years ago. And she's like,
Love
okay, mama. Well, first of all, she looked me up on LinkedIn and she said, I want to connect. I'm like, Vanessa, what you doing? I
it.
said, what you say? She said, Mama J, I need you as our speaker for our Martin Luther King program for Jack and Jill. Now, girl, now you are for
Awesome.
Johnson County. Now you already know. Even though, and I'm thinking, well, when is it? Oh, January 19th. I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna put
You
one
getting
more thing.
invitations from everywhere. I know you
Right, right.
are.
I'm like, I'm gonna put one more thing right there in the middle of the day. What? And that's also the year anniversary for my podcast because I started it on January 19th. And for me, it's my time. This is for me. I feel like I'm giving honor to God, but I'm also honoring my mother because on January 19th, 2013, God called my mother home. So that's why
Mm,
I selected that day,
yes.
that January 19th, because I
Yeah,
wanted to give honor to God, but I wanted to give honor to my mother, that she
yeah.
taught me how to sing to overcome stuttering. It wasn't a speech pathologist, girl. We couldn't even spell pathology, but mama taught me all those things. We had nothing, but we had faith, and mama had this mouth that she had been given, that she could sing, girl. And when I talk about sing to the power of the Lord come down, honey, she could do it.
Yeah, I
And she
love it.
taught me how to use it. So here I am, all these years later, and God, I'm using this voice that you gave me. Lord, the people that knew me as a child, I said,
Mm.
what? Let me tell you this. I remember a girl from at my 25th year class reunion. You know what she said to me? She said, Cindy, who would have ever thought you'd be successful?
Wow.
And I looked at her just like I'm looking at through this camera right now. Hmm. Wow. But see, when people pull you down, people think that you can't do something, you want to do something. I just said to it very simply, when you thought I was through, that's when God brought me through. I'm gonna leave that
That's
alone.
it.
That's a
That's
whole
it.
other
And you
podcast.
think of, I mean, but it goes right back to what
Right.
I said before.
Yes.
No mother exists on the face on the planet. I don't
Yes.
believe
Right.
that doesn't want what's best for their child. And
Right.
with whatever tools they
Yes.
have at their
Right.
disposal,
Right. Right.
they will utilize those tools to move their children forward,
Come on.
even if they haven't been able to move themselves forward.
Right.
So
Right.
in this literacy journey, it's the same thing. A grandmother,
Hmm.
my very first pilot program in partnership with Front Porch Alliance here in Kansas City, we had
Uh-huh.
25 families, 3 days a week, um, for 6 weeks,
Right.
couple of
Right.
hours per session. I could not figure out why this grandmother, once she brought her son, first one there, last one to leave.
Okay.
She wasn't playing, but she said, "Don't email me, don't text me." I was like, very kind of standoffish initially. I could
Right.
not figure it out. Then I said, I think I know what's going on.
Hmm.
She couldn't read, but she was going
Wow.
to ensure that her
Yeah.
grandson could.
Right.
I had a volunteer that had been trained that I didn't have partnered with a child. I said, if I give you a private space, because I'm going to honor you, not embarrass you, not
Right.
shame you,
Right. Exactly.
partner you with this volunteer. And while we're working with your grandson, you get to work. She said, I said, would you do it? She said, yes. That's what she did while we were working with the kiddos. 6 weeks, she read her first book.
Come on now. Come on. Woo.
I
Woo.
know what we do works. I know what we do works. And I
Hmm.
know that people want it.
Right.
If,
Right.
in fact, we can ensure that we're not going to shame you, we're not going to embarrass you, we're
Right.
going to support you
Right.
all the way through.
All the way through, all the way through.
All
And,
the
and,
way
and that's what
through.
we have to do in our classrooms. When we see our
Yes.
students get up and they're acting out, and or maybe they're showing out when it comes
Yep.
to English class or literacy or reading time. We go into a
Yep.
reading corner. I don't want to go to reader corner. I'm gonna show out so I can get put out, so I can get put out in the hall, or I can get put to another classroom. Kids,
Yes.
kids have figured
Yes.
it out.
Yeah.
Kids have figured that out. I mean, I know how it for me it was. When I think about one teacher, I loved her, but how I felt when she would have us read down the rows and read a
Yes.
paragraph. So I would count the students, and then I would count the paragraphs, trying to be
Yes.
ready,
Yes.
knowing that people were going to laugh. Girl, I'm talking. This is ninth grade now. I knew people were going to laugh because I'm gonna try to work out and get these words and things right. And girl, and then she would do something that would cut me so deeply because students had been moving so slowly and reading so slowly. She would read like a whole page
Yeah.
and throw off the number of paragraphs and the number of students.
Lord. So then you weren't prepared. You
I
couldn't get
wasn't
ready.
prepared. I couldn't get ready. I couldn't get ready. So I mean, I just remember that frustration. So when I see my babies and I see them struggling with words, I mean, it does something to me on the
And
inside.
you said ninth grade.
That was ninth grade. I was doing that. Yeah, ninth
And
grade.
that's the thing, is that we now are focused on literacy as if we stopped teaching it in third grade.
Right.
And so what we gonna do with the kids in ninth grade and 12th grade
Right.
in the AP classes that still can't read?
They still can't read. They still
They're
can't
not
read.
throwaways. They have value.
Yeah.
And that's my work. The
Right.
skills are the skills no matter what grade level. So for 2026, I've already planned it.
Come on.
We're
Uh-huh.
launching a campaign to say, what if every teacher was a reading teacher?
Come on. Come on. What if
Because they call me and say, Wyandotte County teacher, teach health science just a few weeks, about a month ago. I got a
right.
call. Well, I got all these ninth graders and I can't teach health science because they can't read.
Huh.
What am I supposed to do? Teach them how to read?
Imagine that.
Like, how about that? Like,
Yeah.
did you think I was coming? No, you're
No.
gonna teach them how to read.
You
And if
teach
you
them.
don't know how, a part of your job,
Right.
because they're entrusted to your care, if you send them on and they can't read, that's on you.
That's on you. That's on you, baby. That's on you, baby. If they come out of your classroom and you slapped an A or a B on their grade card just so you can make sure that they don't have to come back around and take your class, and they
That part.
can't do what they came into your class. Let me say this is what I always say, because we got to bring this to a close, girl. We got about to take this into something else. If a child walks in your class and they walk out of your class at that same exact level, turn your paycheck in, because you haven't done your job.
You failed. And we have been failing for
For
years.
years, for years, for years, for years, for
I
years.
had a first grade student. I didn't know nothing then, but I had a first grade student. I became really close with his mom. We are still friends. He's now in his 20s.
Uh-huh.
But not too long ago, about a year ago, probably, I went to her and I said, I owe you an apology. I believe that your child is dyslexic. And because I didn't
Mm,
know then,
mm,
I
mm.
said, I did him a significant disservice.
Right.
She said, you know, that now that you mention that, I believe it's true. And I said, well,
Wow.
why would you say that? Why didn't you ever bring it up? You know, she said, because his father is also. But in all of that time,
Wow.
all of these years, we never had that conversation.
Right.
I am woman enough, professional enough to
Uh-huh.
say, I'm sorry, I did him a good disservice
Right.
then.
Right.
And here's some resources so now we can address it.
Ooh, I love it. And that's what that documentary that left behind, like I said, it
Yeah,
was good, but I love that those parents were advocating for themselves.
they have to be.
That you have to be. You have to be.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what,
yeah.
Katina K. Taylor, you have done the thing today. You hear me? Woo, my heart is full, my mind is enriched. I mean, I feel like we have poured into people today. This is
I
not a
hope so.
show. This is not for like, okay, let me see how many likes and clicks. If one
Yeah,
person can walk away with something that they didn't have when they
yeah.
came in, then what I am doing, I know is not in vain. But I already know it's not in vain, because
That's
God is
it.
taking this right here. He's meeting me right here. I planted the seed, but God, God planted the seed in me. I've been watering it all this whole year. And
Yes.
Lord, and you gave me this vision. I'm rolling with it,
Yeah.
but God's going to supply the increase. You hear me?
I know it. No
That's a
doubt.
promise.
No doubt.
That's not a promise from me. That's a promise from God. So I
Yes.
always like to end it, and always saying that I don't care what the world looks like. Yes, I care that there's people are not eating, and that there's so much
Yes.
confusion and things. Yes, I care
Yes.
about those things, but I'm talking about, I do not care what comes about. Right now, they're talking about how the Department of Education is going to dismantle. Well, Department of Education, you ain't coming out of that office. You ain't coming down teaching my children how to read. You're not teaching them how to do things differently. So if you feel like you need to do what you need to do, because we will figure it out. We
Well,
will.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Why are we always holding on to things that don't work?
Come on now. Come on.
I'm just, I
Let it
don't
go.
want anyone to go hungry. I don't want anybody to
Right.
lose their jobs. Like, I understand, like what you said, we understand the world is
Yes.
what it is.
Yes.
But my thing is, if the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, then we must all be
Oh,
insane because
we
we are consistently holding on to
right.
broken things that do
Understand.
not work.
Right. Right. Let it go. Let it free it and free
Failed
us.
experiment. Failed.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
a failed experiment. And I will tell you, the people that funded it told you when they funded it.
Uh-huh.
The Rockefellers, the Carnegies, all those folks
Yes.
that put money into the Department of Ed, they said we want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers.
Hmm. Hmm. Well,
And that's what we have.
we're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna say this to you. In this world, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways that the world has become dark and dim. But Katina, I want to say this to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it looks like. I'm always going to have hope. That's what my sign says. I will
Yes.
always have hope.
Yes.
People criticize me because I always want to talk about hope. Well, hope is my anchor because hope
Yeah.
lets me know that there's an expectation that things are going to get better.
Yes.
A change is going to come. I believe that Sam Cooke wrote those words, and I love singing that song, but I believe in my heart that a change is going to come. So I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep teaching. I'm going to keep preaching if I have to until the change comes.
Yeah.
But if it gets dark, always know that you and I are always going to let our light shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Amen.
Come
I
on
love
now,
it.
girl.
You can't have dark if you don't have the light.
Come on now, come on now. I need the ushers to get on the door right now.
I
You
love
know
it.
how it goes. No movement, no movement.
No movement.
Until we meet again, my friend, let your light shine.